Hello, thank you for stopping by. And my name is Francisco Martinez from North Central High, and I'll tell you a little bit about my personal project. So, the list of topics that I came up with were a percussion tutorial, changing car parts tutorial, or a soccer trick tutorial. And my final topic was the percussion tutorial. And the reason behind this is that I used to play for my church band for a while, and I'm quite good at it. And so the skills that I already had mastered were communication, self-management, research, and thinking. And the ones I that I needed to get better at were social and thinking. And for social, I really didn't talk to people much. I didn't ask questions much before the project. And for the thinking, didn't I really hadn't considered new perspectives, but throughout the project, I really consider new perspectives. And so my topic is a personal and and, and cultural expression. And this is important because I want to show people a part of my culture, like what my culture is about, like the image of it. And so for the research skills, I use YouTube, and experts were Roberto Serrano and Brian Hoover, a CFI teacher. And so this video gave me the idea of how to do this project.
We come together to cross between war and peace, between disorder and integration, between fear and hope.
And so after I saw this video, I asked him how he record all this, and he replied with a list of all the programs that he used. And so he used, for the video, he used Adobe Premiere, and for the capturing of the sound, he used Pro Tools, and um and preamps, along pre with Personal Studio Live. And he makes the sound with M with M Audio Profiler, and those are quite a lot of programs. And for what I use, it's not that much. It's just some sound tools to make the sound better, but they didn't actually work for me. And so before I started, I had to get permission to use the congas from school, which I didn't get the permission, and I had to look somewhere else. And the sound equipment, I had to buy it, but some of it did not work. And then I had to get a video device for the recording process. And I started working on the project during the weekends when I had time, and I always try to remember it because I had all the stuff for the project in my bedroom, which was nice, but I didn't have the congas for that time, so I couldn't do anything much with it. And so for the critical thinking, I explained the basics of the instrument and the sound equipment importance. And the creative thinking was that I implemented the video software and the advices on how to make it concise. And then for the transferring was the knowledge about the topic and how it was transmitted to the video. And so for taking action and demonstrating communication and social skills, for communications, I shared the information through the video format and spoke through the video format also. And for social, I asked for tips on how to do the tutorial better, and I got better through questions and answers for my social skill improvement. And for reflecting, there was a lot of choices within the topic, and so the outcomes are not always what we desire to be. There's always gonna be like a bummer that's gonna put things upside down, and that's what happened to me. And on the planning, the video stayed the same, and some material were left out because of time and because I did not had those materials in time. And for the congas, as I said, I had to borrow them from a different place, from Brian Hoover. And on the quality of the product, it did met some of the criteria, but it did not mid elder because of the materials that were left out. But in all, it's a it did meet almost all of the criteria that I wanted to meet. And so now I'll show you my percussion tutorial.
Changui con mal, 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 changui con mal.
So hello, in this video you're gonna learn about the different parts of the conga and the playing position of it. So let's start with the frame. So this frame is made out of wood and it has two holes. Uh, one is where the sound comes out of it, and this hole is covered with a leather skin, and it's fastened by a rim, by this black rim with some lug nuts, uh, and the playing position. Try to have your legs kind of like a B shape, like the peace sign shape, and you're gonna place the conga bottom in between your 2 feet, your, your 2 feet, and with your legs you're gonna squeeze it. And after you have done this, try to tilt the conga a little bit so that the sound waves can escape from the other end, because you will get a better sound. If we do this as the conga is flat, you're you're not gonna get a good bass tone. But if we do this, if we tilt the conga a little bit off the ground, we're gonna get that good bass tone. And so there's another key thing, and that's your hand. Like your whole arm has to be how can I say it? It should be aligned to the conga head. If your hand, I mean, if your arm is like above like this high, you're not gonna get like a good sound. I mean, you may get a good sound, but you will be straining your hand. And if your arm is like way below the conga head, you may be hitting yourself on this part, and so that wouldn't be a great thing, right? I mean, it kind of hurts, and so on the next video I'll show you how to play each stroke. Thank you for staying tuned. At this moment I'll show you the open stroke and mute stroke. So let's start with the open stroke. For this stroke, you're gonna use this part of your hand, which is this little, like the upper part of your palm, and that part is gonna rest on the edge of the conga head. So on each stroke, try to have your hand relax, like so relaxed that you can even feel the pain when you're stroking each stroke. So let me show you. So this part has to be in contact with the edge of the conga head. So here. And so here I'm just letting my hand rest on the conga head, and your fingers could hit this part of the conga head, but it's your choice. Now let's try with our left hand. Remember, it's this part of your hand, not this or this, it's this part. So now I'll show you the mute stroke, and for this stroke you're gonna need these 4 fingers of your hand, and those 4 fingers are gonna be placed on top of the conga head, like this. Like just this part, like from this part and up has to be from the edge to the inside. So like this. Next, other. Now let's try with our left hand. Now with both hands. So the single stroke, which is this, can be used as a practice method for speed, like how fast you can hit each stroke. So if we do mute in the previous stroke that I show you, it should sound like this. let's recap of what we have done so far. So we did open and mute 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 stroke. So now I'll try to show you the bass tone. And for the bass tone, you're gonna use your whole hand. And so for the bass tone, will be try to tilt your conga a little bit off the ground, just to get that like sound bass tone. Now left. Some players, they use just this part of their hand, and some kind of put their hand like this. But in my opinion, there's no like change or like something. Uh, it it kind of depends on their personal choice. For me, I kind of use all those three for just just because I kind of feel like there's a difference in sound, but it kind of depends on you and like how good you are with each stroke. So let's try again, doing it as like a single stroke practice. So now I'll show you the slap stroke, and, and for this stroke you're gonna use these four fingers, and then this area, just like the edge of your palm, and the slap stroke goes like with the other conga. Try to do this stroke like almost at the edge of the conga, like in this area. If you're uh, uh, left-handed, try to do it in this area. Also try it with left. So let's go back to the bass tone and the slap tone, and let's do like a single stroke uh, practice. So bass tone. Now slap. And so this is the bass and slap stroke. And for the next part, I'll show you the heel fingers stroke, which it's your two in the left hand. The last two strokes, which are from your left hand, is a phrase as heel fingers, and it's just your four fingers, like this four fingers, and your palm, like this, like just this part of your hand, which is called heel. And so fingers is just then heel is and then these two strokes are combined together to make like a horse type sound, like a running horse type sound. Slowly. Right hand. Dollar conga. Left hand. And so try to practice these two strokes fast, like with one hand. So let's try to do like the single strokes, but with heel fingers. Right hand. And so let's do a recap of all the strokes that we have learned so far. So the open, the mute sound, and then the bass stroke, and then the slap, then heel fingers. And remember that you have to be relaxed to do each of these strokes, because if you're tense, uh, you're you're not gonna be able to play each stroke as good as possible. So keep that in mind. And next up, I'll show you el tumbao. By now, you should know all six strokes of how to play the congas. And for this next pattern, which is called tumbao, uh, it uses heel fingers, slap, and open stroke. And so let me show you the first, like the first half of this pattern. And so this first half has a set of heel fingers and a slap. And so the other half starts with heels and then, sorry, it starts with fingers and then heel. So it would be see how my hand goes to fingers first and then heel. And so to finish this pattern off, let me do it slowly and with its complete length. Also, you could do this pattern with one hand. Right hand. Try to speed up too.